What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Torque Spec Garage. Hope everyone's having a wonderful week. Today we are going to be bleeding the brakes on a Nissan Frontier. So I'm going to walk you through how I do that. It's going to be a little different than how, like the old traditional way. We actually do have a power bleeder we're going to be using today. So a little different than your standard, crack the little bleeder nipple and pump the brakes a bunch. So I'll show you guys how we do that. So let's get right into it. All right, everybody. So here's the truck. Old little Nissan Frontier. It's one of my coworkers. I think his son just drives it back and forth to school. But he said he didn't know how old the brake fluid is that's in it. So he wants to just get all the old stuff out, pump new stuff in. And I think he said he had a leak as well. So we're going to see if we can get all that figured out, get some new fluid in this thing, and get it stopping how it's supposed to. Alright, so the auto bleeder we're going to be using today is an Autool. It's just a brake fluid power bleeder. It comes with all these different attachments. You just have to figure out which one fits your reservoir. And it's pretty cool. So you just fill up the back little bottle right here with your new fluid, and then you hook that bottle onto your little bleeder screw. And then once you turn this on, it will pump the new fluid into the reservoir and push all the old fluid out through the bleeder screw you have open. So pretty cool, definitely nifty, easier than just sitting there pumping the brakes to infinity and beyond. So we're about to get started. All right, guys, and as always, make sure you keep your trusty tool holder handy. Like I said, this is that cheap $3.99 eBay special one we got, but he works pretty good for the most part. He just doesn't know his left from his right sometimes. All right, guys, so like I said, you're going to come and figure out which size adapter you need for your brake fluid reservoir. So your brake fluid reservoir goes into your booster, and it's on the driver's side, so just make sure you don't get that mixed up. All right, guys, and there is a sequence in which you do each bleeder screw. So you're going to start with the passenger rear, then go to the driver rear, then go to the passenger front, and then do the driver front last. So just be sure you follow that order when bleeding your brakes. All right, so we got our new fluid put in the reservoir into the bleeder. We have our adapter for the reservoir. So next thing all you got to do is just hook your cable up, your hose rather. And then we'll go to the next step. Alright, guys, so depending on what kind of vehicle you're doing this procedure on, it'll be pretty much the same for every vehicle when you're bleeding the brakes. Just some vehicles have drums on the rear and some have discs. In this case, this car has drums, so the bleed screw is right here, and it comes right out of the back of the wheel cylinder, right above your hard line. So all you got to do is get a 10mm and just break that loose, and then we'll put our little drain onto it, and we'll start pumping the old fluid out. All right, guys, so we got the bleeder broke loose. I got my drain on it, so we're about to start pumping all the old fluid out. Alright, guys, so that is all the old fluid being pushed through the system and coming out of the rear bleeder. And you'll know it's all the way out when all the bubbles and old looking fluid get out. Because right now you can see it's still kind of yellow and dirty. And you want to make sure you get all the air out, so don't stop till all the bubbles quit going.
This little car like this right here.
Alright guys, so once you get all the air out, which you'll know when the bubbles stop and the clean fluid starts coming out, you just want to make sure you snug your bleed screw all the way back down. Don't leave it loose or you will not have any brakes. And it also doesn't take a ton of force. The last thing you want to do is break that off. Alright guys, and then you're just going to repeat the process. Now we're on the driver's side rear. So same thing, just crack that loose, stick your drain on there, and then you'll hit your automatic bleeder again, let all the air get out, and then you just close it back. Alright guys, so the fronts on this are disc brakes, so the bleeder screw is going to be on the top. Looks exactly the same, you break it loose the same way, it's just in a different spot because these are discs, not drums. Alright guys, and on the front you can actually use a line wrench so you can tighten it straight back instead of having to pull it on tight with your hand rather than the drums, because you actually have more room up here.
There's a bolt.
You see all the bubbles, so that means all the air's coming out.
There's a tear in my beer. And air in my brakes.
You guys hear my singing crew? And then like I said guys, once you see all the bubbles gone, you got clear fluid. Alright, you can turn it off. Snug it back. Pull your drain off. And then you move on to the next one.
For what purpose that's serving?
Alright guys, so last but not least, you come to the driver's side, and it's the same way as the other one we just did. So I got my drain hooked up, line wrench on, so you just break it loose. And then we turn our machine on. Alright. Fluid's clear. Alright dog, you good? Yep, fluid's clear, all the bubbles are out. Snug it back down. Take your drain off. Take your line wrench off. And that's all there is to it. Alright guys, so after you get all the old fluid out and bled and everything, you just want to make sure you top off your reservoir. There's a little fill line on the side, so just make sure you're topped off and good to go. And then that's all there is to it. And lastly guys, after you fill it up, it's always a good idea to make sure you have brake pedal, because if you didn't tighten one or something, you'll go straight to the floorboard and you won't stop like you're supposed to. This thing's a dang unit, man. 67,000 original miles on old girl. Alright guys, and that's going to do it for another video here on Torque Spec Garage. Thank you guys so much for continuing to watch and support the channel. I can't express to you how much it really does mean to me. For everyone that watches, supports, likes, comments, you know, tunes into the live streams, it really does mean a lot, and it helps the channel a ton, so I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget, if this video helped you, don't forget to leave a like, a comment. And if you like this kind of content, don't forget to hit that subscription button. I do lives twice a day. I post shorts twice a day. I do these kind of how-to videos, drift events, all that good stuff. So if you like to stay in touch, just make sure you turn notifications on, hit that subscribe button. And also, another shameless plug, if you want to buy some Torque Spec Garage merch, there's shirts and hoodies. They are linked in my YouTube description. Anything bought helps me out tremendously, you know, with covering expenses to go to events, you know, just everything it takes to do this kind of stuff. So if you guys want to grab you a shirt or a hoodie, I greatly appreciate it. A good friend of mine designed them for me, and I think that turned out awesome. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you guys.